Hello there everyone, what do you hear, what do you say? So, Guild Wars 2 recently announced that they'll be doing bi-weekly updates to the game from now on, which in upon itself sounds absolutely amazing. However, people have voiced their concerns on the subject, both how they fear the quality will go down if it's done on such a short deadline, and how ArenaNet seems to be focusing on temporarily content, which will disappear after a certain amount of time. This video will mostly be about me describing what I like to see happen to the game to make it feel more immersive. If you'd like to see how I'd implement a living story gameplay wise, click here. Now let me get this out of the way first. I love the idea of the living story, but so far I haven't been too fazed by ArenaNet's writing. It seems like they're trying to introduce new and likable characters, but simply don't have the time or resources to flesh them out any more than just a surface, making them feel rather two-dimensional and cardboard. Remember that detective from Dragon Bash? I actually really liked the setup for that character. She was placed in a part of the city I'd never been before, and she was introduced in a really cool cutscene. However, then my exam started and I couldn't play Guild Wars, meaning I never got to know her beyond that cutscene. I can see what they're going for. After all, it makes a world feel more real when events happen and you simply miss them or only read about them. But with that, I'd like to bring up my biggest critique for the game yet. Guild Wars 2 doesn't feel like a real world. No, hang on. Before you slam that dislike button and point out how ugly and untalented I am, just hear me out. A world is more than just a large open place with people in it. I've often pointed out that I saw Guild Wars 2 like an arcade. You log in, you walk around the arcade, flashes and lights and things going on all around you. You simply pick a game and play it for a few minutes, and after that you're done and the game starts again. This is not what I'm looking for in an MMO. When I play an MMO, I don't log in for 10 minutes and be on my merry way. No, instead I'd like to get lost in a large new open world, having no idea what might happen around the next corner, and simply being able to find a point of rest where I can kick off my boots and have a drink. I'm talking about Immersion. Now let me get this out of the way first. Guild Wars 2 is a good game. It puts a lot of time and a lot of effort into making some really great content. The battles feel epic, there's plenty of new models to go around, and almost every patch has new voice acting. I'm not hating on the content that Anet releases. In fact, I praise them for it. But it lacks subtleties. Let me explain. When you're creating a living, breathing world, you can't have one epic fight after another. Because if everything is epic, it starts becoming mundane. It becomes a thing you do almost mindlessly, instead of making your heart pound. There's no glory in it anymore. Having very subtle things seep in which are recognizable in real life will help you relate more to the world, and will start making it more believable and indeed more immersive. I'll give you an example. When walking around London in the secret world, you can find these soda machines standing around, where you can actually get yourself a can of cola or a bottle of juice. Something that simple can already help in making the world seem more believable, simply because it's recognizable and relatable. Of course, you can't put down Coke machines in Guild Wars 2, but you can add things like chairs for you to sit in, or a /drink emote. This creates a rest point within the game. There's no giant monsters trying to snap you in half, or undead nibbling on your shins. It's just you and your friends sitting in a tavern, bragging and showing off your gear to each other. Another thing would be your home instance. That should be a place to return and calm down. Think about all the events that happened that day. Maybe sit down in front of your fireplace and open your bag full of mail of people thanking you for your help. Now you can argue that you can already do this. After all, there are taverns in-game where you can get a drink and you've got your home instance to return to. However, I personally think that these places haven't been fleshed out enough yet. A tavern isn't really a resting point right now. I'll give you an example. Well, you knew I was going to bring in World of Warcraft into this sooner or later. But let's analyze, shall we? It begins at the door. You'll notice that most houses and taverns put a wall in front of you, having you go around the corner before entering in the actual building. It forces you to brake, even if it's just a little. After that, you enter into the tavern and two things happen. The lighting changes, giving you a more warm atmosphere, and the tavern music kicks in, making it feel as if there's a band playing somewhere. This is an obvious rest point in the game. It's a relaxed atmosphere. Now let's look at Guild Wars 2. You'll notice that there's no music or change of lighting, making it seem like the rest of the world instead of a place to calm down. You do hear the ringing of some glasses and a single kind of out of place laugh every now and again, but it doesn't feel as if people are actually enjoying themselves in this place. So, ArenaNet announced that they'll be bringing out bi-weekly updates. This seems like the perfect time to start bringing these little things into the game. It doesn't have to be a huge update every time, but by simply adding one thing on the side will eventually result in a way more organic and relatable world, which is something I personally look forward to. If you'd like to see me talk about how I would implement the living story in a gameplay perspective, click here. Or if you like this video and like to see more, why not check out one of these videos? Thank you for watching, and be sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below. Agree with me? Disagree with me? Let me know. I always love reading what you guys have to say. But until then, I've been Ultranaut, and bye bye.